before we start, real quick, my two football gurus here, Mike Boydum, Altoona Mirror football writer, Andy Elder. Andy Elder! Oh my God! Do that again.
Oh, disrespect.
Andy Elder!
Andy Elder.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Altoona Mirror Preseason Blitz 2023 special. Kind of a preview of our show that's going to start at the end of August. But now that this thing hit the newsstands on Friday, July 28th, we just want to let you guys know that follow us and look for us on YouTube. Before we start talking about this magazine that went on sale in local newsstands, I guess we can say Sheetz' and here as well as at the Altoona Mirror, I'm going to introduce the people with us who like to talk about this stuff inside here. Mike Boydum, high school football guru. He hates being called a guru, but I love calling him a guru. Bino Cook was a guru for college football. Andy Stein,
there we go,
who joined us last year, is now in his second year. He's now a veteran. My name is Scott Frank. I'm basically the host that bounces stuff off of these two. But they're going to hold up the magazine real quick. You should probably know what it looks like. Hopefully you already have it. If not, they're at Sheetz. They're at Sheetz. Are they in any of the grocery stores?
They're
at
at Sheetz. Let me just read the locations here real quick for you, because it's you know, they're all over the place. They're at Martin's General Stores. They're at Giant Eagles. You can get them at like the Everett Food Liner. BCO Marts someplace, but Sheetz is the main location. And if you ever cannot find anything, you can always come in here to the Altoona Mirror from 8 to 4 on business days and buy one downstairs. They will have them here. We've sold a few already through that way, and it's 301 Cayuga Avenue that you can come in and
punch it in your GPS.
You know, a lot of papers, when you go into the season, they'll have a season preview of, hey, this is Tyrone, this is what they have coming back and stuff. Like, it's maybe a little gray story that has a couple highlights or whatever. This is so much more than that. And it's only $6. It has 31 teams. And one of the cool features this year is this map that you can see where it will show each one of the teams in District 6 and District 5, and it shows you where they are and what conference they're in now, because there's been so many changes just from last season. You got the new teams in the Laurel Highlands Conference, the new teams in the Heritage Conference, the new teams in the ICC, and the Mountain League doesn't exist anymore.
It's gone. Mm-hmm. Well, also, too, for people who are fans of the college football magazines like Street and Smith, Athlon, Phil Steele, this looks just like, Buck Frank, who I just found out before the start of our show, Buck Frank, our sports editor, he did all of this. For the entire month of June, I believe every night he went in. You got to just go by and look at it just to see that this was done by a Central Pennsylvania newspaper. This wasn't done by some big publishing firm that does like those magazines I was just talking about, the high school football or the college football and the NFL football. Just
while
the
we're
color,
putting out a daily paper.
Yeah, the color reproduction in here, the mug shots, the map that he just talked about. I actually brought out, this is one because this is the 10-year anniversary of this magazine. I'm holding out a 2013 one to show you how much back then we only covered 20, look at here, I have to pull my glass off, I'm getting old, 26 high schools, and as Michael said, 31 now. And I'm trying to think, when this came out in 2013, were you were out of high school?
Oh yeah, I was at the Congress.
I got to think that high school kids really, because they know about this now, I got to think they're looking forward to this big time.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell people, up my area, I used to talk all the time about Mo Valley last year. I still live in that area. I tell people all the time up there, get the Blitz. It has any school that you want, even in our area. All the Clearfield County schools, I don't think Du Bois is in there, but that's it. Phillipsburg, that area, Center County, anything that you would want. And even before, I remember I said last year, even before I worked here, I would pick up one of these Blitzes just because it would help me out. No matter what paper I was at the time. I would always pick this thing up just because it's kind of a I don't know if it's going to be a Bible, but it's going to be like a
closest thing to a Bible. Maybe a scripture in the Bible or a gospel in the Bible.
The thing I like to say about it is what we're trying to do for the kids. And hey, we're having a weekly YouTube show here where we talk about you guys. It's just like you're on the NFL shows and stuff, and it's like having Sports Illustrated edition. We like to give them the Sports Illustrated treatment. Like, it would be like you're a kid and all of a sudden there's a preview of your team in Sports Illustrated. This magazine is just as nice as Sports Illustrated, and it is cheap. You can go out and get it, and this is something you have for the rest of your life. I'm trying not to make this too much like a commercial, but I'm really proud of this magazine and the work that we put into it, and I hope that you guys will support it.
And also, just because if you're familiar with Sports Illustrated, the Sports Illustrated jinx, there is no jinx here. Last year, Harold Hohenstein and Kesey Wetter were all on the cover.
All state quarterback.
Yeah, nobody got hurt. I'm looking back at the one here. Kevin Givens was on the cover of this one for Altoona back in 2013, and I think he's doing pretty well
He's doing fine
for the San Francisco 49ers. So there's no Altoona Mirror Blitz jinx. But talking about, like, for the kids, my son Vincent's on vacation in Florida last week. He calls me at 7 in the morning to wake me up and goes, "Hey, did the Blitz come out, and who made the cover from Holliesburg?" He goes, "I heard somebody from Holliesburg made the cover." And even Homer DeLocter, their football coach, saw me at a picnic recently, and he goes, "Hey, are we finally going to get somebody on the cover?" And I didn't realize I wasn't allowed to tell him, but I did sit there and go, "Yeah, your son's on the cover, didn't you know?" And he goes, "No, really?" And I went, "Ooh, should I have said that?" But he kept it, he kept it quiet and everything. But yeah, I mean, the kids look forward to that. They want to see who's on the cover. Did they make the cover? And I think Mike and Buck put a lot of work into that, and who's going to go on, who gets picked for it. But if you get down to your store, get down to the sheets and everything, I mean, there's rosters on there. We were just in there commenting about the different size rosters for different teams, but that gives you like a little preview of what's coming the last week of July or the last week of August before the season starts, August 25th.
Yeah, and then we have the high school football tab, which is a different thing than this.
And
They're two different things.
Pull out from our paper.
Comes in the magazine. And the kids that are on the front cover, thank goodness they're not selected through having just a cool names.
Yeah, but also too, talk about like kids getting excited. Last year, I didn't even know he was going to be in it. My son Vincent was on the one picture of the tackle for Holliesburg, and I don't know how he took it. But that made my day. That absolutely made my day, because you look at it going, it looks like a freaking Sports Illustrated or an Adlon or the Phil Steele, the Street and Smith.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. I mean, this just isn't a newspaper. This is like, I mean, it's big time. I mean, we're sitting there doing a commercial for it basically, but you just got to if you're a high school football fan in this area, you really got to have this with you for the rest of the summer in August, and and then take our other thing that's coming out in August. You want to take that with you during the season, because that'll have even more updated information.
The thing that I like to read when around this time of year when it comes to football season is fantasy football magazines. I'm a big fantasy football player. I usually get in a couple leagues every year. If you ask me, I know I'm a little bit biased here because I'm an Altoona Mirror employee, but this is better than like any of those fantasy football magazines. I know those college football magazines, some of them are really good, but as far as high school football goes, you're not going to find much better here in the state of Pennsylvania.
No, Mike, Andy's not sitting there saying he wants that fantasy high school football, because that's...
I don't know about that.
He's saying he's going to read through all those capsules, and it's going to help him do better on the Fearless Forecast.
Oh, there you
There we go. That's true.
So I thought we were going to start talking about nil deals for high school kids. And see if somebody in Tyrone would, maybe a hoagie place, would maybe put a sponsorship up for every time a player for Tyrone scores a touchdown, a half price hoagie covered in onions. Not that we're going to say any names of any places. But anyway, gentlemen, you guys have anything to add to we don't want to talk too much now, because we want you guys to look forward to that first show, which will be the week of August 21st.
Well, 25th, I think, is the 25th is the first.
21st is Monday, and then usually we tape during the middle of the week. And then our wonderful Uber producer, Academy Award, Emmy Award winning, Tony Award winning producer director Dan Eisenberg will have that up on
Golden Quill Final.
Golden
That's
Quill
right.
Final. Something, yeah, that's right. And hopefully, anybody's out there watching right now, if you have a pogo stick, don't ask us why now. But if you have a pogo stick that you want to get rid of, see us.
Throw it out that
We want to have
Yeah,
a pogo stick.
we're going to burn it live on the show.
Yeah, we thought about that, and then we'll explain that later to you. But for Mike Boydum, for Andy Stein, I'm Scott Franco, for Dan Eisberg, thanks for watching, and get out there and get your Blitz.
And not a pogo stick.
And not a pogo stick.